Hi everybody and welcome to Gamedev Meetup 104. So today we will have a really cool presentation about a thing that I wanted to learn since it appeared, and it's named Core Platform. And Jānis Skuja will tell us about his experience with Core and how games are made there. So please, Jānis. YouTube has no sound.
Okay, let's see. It's because YouTube should have sound now. Yep. So I am sorry about
Maybe
that.
can you start over
Okay,
a
sure.
few
Okay.
sentences
I mean,
about your
I
studio?
didn't really. Yeah. So again, let's see. Let's go back slide. Oh no. Now you will see everything. This is not the right slide. Okay, here. It happens. It's okay. So yeah, again. So my name is Jānis Skuja. I will be talking about my core experience. We have been using core about 1 month, and this is what I'm gonna talk about today. I will just tell about us, about our studio, and like tell you why I'm actually talking about core. Uh, I will introduce you what actually is core. I will just show you what we have made during this month, and then we will talk about some questions I have received in Discord. For example, people were interested in ways to actually earn money in core. Then I will just share some positives and negatives in my opinion, what we have experienced, and then I will just give out my opinions when and why you should use Core Engine. That's a quick summary of what I've been talking about, basically. So yeah, currently we are a 3-person team. It's me, my wife, and our friend Artis. I'm the universal warrior. I do game design. I'm made the company. I do programming. I do marketing. Well, marketing. I share stuff just on socials and try to get people play our games. Unda is our artist. She also does a lot of stuff. She does 3D art, 2D art, environment art. She does some game design, and basically she's the creative person of our company. And artist helps out with programming. He helps out with game mechanics, level design. He gives us some good insights on some bugs that we might have missed otherwise. So he's a really great addition to our team. So why I'm actually talking about Core, and we basically started using Core in December 10th. I've known Core for about a year now when it came out, but just decided to do it in December just to give it a shot, And and we started to have fun with it. We participated in our first Core game jam. In 4 days we made something, and we decided, okay, let's use Core and make something more serious with it. And some people noticed in Discord that, hey, I'm using Core, started asking questions, and that's when I decided to actually just share my experience with it so far. How little it might be, just only a month, but still I feel like it's something worth sharing. I'm not in any way associated with Manticore Games other than just using their platform, which is Core Games. And by sharing our experience, what I actually want to do is encourage everybody listening, everybody watching in our community to share their experience about Godot engine, about Unity engine, about Unreal Engine, about Game Maker, about RPG Maker, and I don't know, about Roblox maybe, like anything. I think these experience sharing presentations are really insightful because they share the good, the bad, and yeah. So I hope this is also inspirational to you to get some courage and also speak up about your experiences with other game engines and platforms. Okay. Yeah, so what actually is this thing, Core? So Core is this one platform. It's very similar, I guess, to Roblox. It's very similar to Second Life, where you can play, socialize, and create your own experiences and games. It's downloaded. You can download it from Epic Store. And it's currently been in open alpha, I guess, for a year now, but still it's it's actually pretty stable for it being in alpha. It says that there is no coding required for it, and assets are readily available, and new ones are created with kit bashing. So I think you can, that might be true. You can create something without coding, but in general, I think to create actually something very interactive, very playable, coding is done in Lua script. So it's a scripting language that most video game engines use. I just actually didn't know about that until recently. Yeah. So what he had done actually in Core, so during this month, we haven't worked at the full time on Core. So what we started with in 4 days, we created, I guess, this demo for an MMORPG game called Twistwood, and I'm really proud of it. We will continue to develop the game. We will continue to add more dungeons, more quests, and I really wanted to create an MMORPG game, but as we all know, it's freaking expensive, and it's really hard to actually create an MMORPG, and it usually just doesn't pay off. So and the Core platform basically has everything built in to just do an instance-based MMORPG, And this is like, for me, it was like holy crap, I can do this here. And actually, yeah, so during this year, we will try to make the best MMORPG on Core, well, to our to our ability, you know. So the second one was Winter Solstice. It's an experience. It's like you can interact stuff. We did like a Yule themed like a playground of sorts, and yeah, I actually, yeah, we learned a lot from that. We did some more scripting. We did some more custom models, and by custom models I mean kit bashed models. And what's kit bashing I will soon get into. Also, I hope to show you just some demos and stuff. So first off is Twisted. It should be a short video. And what you see, like these player animations, these actions, most of it you can just drag and drop into the editor, and it will just work. This quest system, the NPC there with the question mark, it's made by someone else in Core. It's a community content. You also just drag and drop it in, and it just works. You can place like quest objects. You can change the quest dialogue and everything. Of course, you can make your own also. And yeah, and most of these models are also ready-made models. And yeah, my wife did, I think, really good job of keeping the environment together here in I guess what's the word, in a concise way. So it looks very spooky, very like foggy. Like that's the atmosphere that we wanted to do. And this is the progress of not 4 days, but I guess 4 days, but in the evenings, like few hours a day. So it's like 8 hour, 9 hour, maybe I guess in total 10-hour progress, like between 3 people. So in my opinion, it's pretty impressive that you can do this with such a little time. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I didn't show the dungeon in this video, unfortunately. Okay, we will check it out later. Yeah. So the next thing is we actually, for this one, I don't really remember how much time it took. This was a bit longer. I think right before Christmas this jam was announced. So this is like 2-week progress with coding in the evenings and doing the models and stuff in the evenings. Here my wife actually used kit bashing, which is like so okay, now I will tell you what's kit bashing. Kit bashing is taking ready-made primitive or just ready-made 3D models and 3D models and spheres, for example, like cubes and some materials, and just bashing together to create something new, something like, for example, those houses that you saw and that big goat statue is made from scratch with other models put together, and this is like only scratches the surface, like it's actually possible with Core, because Core doesn't let you import custom models or custom sounds or anything. You have to use what's in the platform. Like that's the reason why you can just switch through many games like in seconds. You don't have to download anything when you switch through their games in the platform. It's already, everything's just there. The files that are like uploaded in, for example, in versioning system like Git, they contain configuration where all the models are set, all the textures were set, all the settings, and Core platform just interprets that, and you can play the games. Yeah, so I'm actually really proud of this Yule experience we did here. We like experimented with a lot of new stuff. For example, I did this dialogue and weather configuration thing in Lua, and I haven't coded in Lua at all before. So that was really interesting for me to do. And I mean, the weather itself, the snow effect is again taken from community content, which is done like from someone else. The snow follows the player, thus you can see like it's snowing. Yeah. Yeah, so so what? Okay, let's talk about monetization here, but I want to get this out of the way because I don't know all that, but here's what I know of it. So yeah, monetization is done like people buy this premium currency in core. Then with this premium currency, they buy stuff in your games, whatever you create. And you get a 50-50 cut, which is actually, you might think that's not a lot, but it's actually pretty generous because, well, you think about it. You don't have to think about server costs. You don't have to think about licensing from Unreal Engine. You don't have to think about, I don't know, like actually the server code, right? You don't have to code the server, like it's already there. You can, like 32 people can join your scene and play together like pretty much instantly when you make it. Just put on a spawn point where people will spawn in and here you go, you have a multiplayer game. So I think the 50-50 cut is actually pretty good in this case. If it was Steam or just the Epic Store in general would take the larger cut, then I would think differently. But Manticore does provide all of the tools and like everything for you to actually create something. So yeah. But the thing is, to actually get into this monetization program, you have to have 50 daily active users per month. Like not per month, actually just to be eligible, like you have to get like the average of 50 daily active users on all of your core games, on all of your core games, like combined. Yeah, so that's the thing. We are only on 4 daily active users, so we have ways to go to actually reach this. I hope in the next month or so, or maybe 2 months, we actually get that. Yeah. So another thing, another way to earn stuff like in core is hackathons, which are we participating. They do hackathons a lot. Like just in 1 month that we have been using core, we have participated in 2 hackathons which have prize monies. This hackathon, the Holiday Game Jam, where we submitted the Yule experience, has prize money, and also they offer a GDC ticket that includes everything or equivalent in money. So you can choose actually. So yeah, and then there are challenge boards in core forums where you can sign up for creating tutorials or community content or some assets and stuff in the forum. You sign up, then Manticore reviews your submission, then they will actually hire you to create a tutorial. And after you submit a tutorial, for example, tutorial on terrain or landscaping or scripting, then they will pay you from $350 to something, I don't remember the exact numbers there. Then they will it varies how much they will pay you, like on the quality of the tutorial, for example, that you submitted. Yeah, and that's the other way to maybe earn something. And then I see people like in Discord, because Core also has this very active Discord with players and creators. I see that some people exchange hey, will you make this the steampunk reindeer animal for me? I will pay you, or something other. Like people actually do commissions on core engine. That's what I've noticed, and earn some pocket money like that too. So other than that, you cannot sell stuff outside of your core game. And this does not include commissions. It's for example, you cannot sell codes to unlock some kind of a skin in your code game outside of core portal. Then, yeah, that violates the terms of service. Yeah, and that said, let's actually open this up. And then what I wanted to actually show you, where is it? Perks program, about the perks program. Yeah, here it is. So I mentioned Roblox because core is very much an alternative to Roblox in some ways. There's some features that are in Roblox that are not in core, but honestly, I don't like marketplaces. I don't like people exchanging their in-game items and stuff like that for like something like, I guess, similar to Steam Counter-Strike store or something like that. I kind of not into that, so that's okay for me that if it's not available in core. So yeah, in Roblox you earn 24.5% ish, and core just takes half. So that's one way to look at the monetization things. I hope that I can share more about monetization sometime later when I actually do it. Like then I would have some analytics and some more interesting stuff there for you to see. Yeah, and then I wanted to also show you these challenge boards that I was talking about. And yeah, for example, in January you can, here's the payment. Each entrant is eligible up to $350 with a minimum of $75. So I was a bit wrong there, but you can, potentially if you do this challenge, submit it. You have to actually sign up for the challenge. You have to get approved for the challenge, and if you submit it, then you might just earn the $350 for it. Yeah, and this is for if you create a social space, for just a place where people can join in and talk amongst themselves and do some activities, basically. So, yeah, I'm thinking about actually doing one of these, signing up to one of these. So we'll see how that goes. I will just share that experience in Discord as well. Yeah. So let's see. Oh no. Why there is no back button here? So I will show you after this presentation. I will just open core engine and actually show some demo while you ask questions. So I know it's a bit boring to just watch the slides, but just yeah. So so the positives that I have noticed is that there's a very active community in Discord. Like they do every Thursday, there's someone from Manticore Games showing you how to build stuff. Like if it's like how to do dialogue system, or how to do some scripting, or how to make a trap in your dungeons. It's a very involved community. You can ask all sorts of questions, and which is why I actually like it so much. I don't feel like I'm asking stupid questions there. Whenever I ask something, there's always someone that really well explains stuff to me. For example, there was someone from Mantle Games. That's also one of the companies that do core games, and they explained to me and even shared some like git ignore stuff in how to do versioning in git like properly using core and stuff like that. It's super helpful and really good community there. And it's so far I haven't noticed any toxicity there, but I know it's only been a month, so far the community has been really great. So there are like tons of tutorials and courses in official documents forum. There are like on YouTube. They do Twitch streams also. That said, though, if you try to Google something in I guess in a traditional way, when you have a problem, first you try to Google it, right? You won't, most of the time, you won't really find anything core engine specific because the name is core engine. And when you Google something, it's sometimes just straight up finds you something about cars. So it's funny. So yeah, you have to basically, the first place you have to check is either Discord or the official documentation if you have a problem with core. Yeah, it's super easily, like it's like just out of the box. It's like takes minutes to create a multiplayer game in core. It's really cool, and I like that really much. So then also I think this is like really good for beginner programmers, beginner game developers, or game designers, because there are transitional skills that you can learn. Lua scripting is the most popular scripting language within game engines. So at least according to Wikipedia, I haven't really done Lua scripting outside of this, but that said, my main profession is not a game developer yet. I'm transitioning from web development to game development. Hopefully sometime soon I will be full-time game developer. We'll see about that. Yeah. So you can like experiment with game design, like world design, because mostly it's just putting stuff together and see if it works. So you don't have to think that much about the coding and technical parts. You have been given this tool to just experiment with all sorts of game ideas. And then there's like a versioning system. I really like that core actually we can use GitHub, like it's the most used versioning system in the world. So if you learn to use it like by working in teams, that's a skill that you will use like anywhere as a developer. So just get in on it. And and for me it's also marketing and analytics, because core engine also from like the developer dashboard, it offers like analytics, how many daily active users you have, and other stuff that I haven't thought about like at all before. Now since I want to get in this monetization program, I'm been thinking more about analytics, like, and it's something really new to me and interesting. And to actually thinking about how to get people download core and actually just go and play my game, it's a very interesting experience for me. Yeah, and it's definitely a good fit for game jams. And by that I want to mention Global Game Jam is coming up. Please sign up. If you haven't made a game at all, Core or Godot, maybe Unity are good fits for your first game engines. If you don't know any programming, Core is definitely a good fit for your first game jam, just to learn like how game mechanics work. Basically, I really do recommend it as a first game jam engine for you, definitely. And it does save a lot of time. For me especially, it was a great time saver. As I did mention before, I want to create massive multiplayer online games, and everyone that's like done some game development knows that it's really, really hard to do. So yeah, it's ready in there. I don't really have to think about it at all. Like, there are some times I have to think about if this thing is on client side or server side of networking, but it's not that much, honestly. Yeah, and it's mostly easy to use with GitHub. Exceptions are the terrain. But other than that, these configuration files that Core uses are text-based. So we still try to avoid any merge conflicts, but in theory, the merge conflicts should be like easily solvable. Yeah, and then there are some negatives, of course. One of the negatives that it's a negative to most people. For me, and I guess for us as a team, we've been kind of starting to think out of the box. You cannot import your own assets, you cannot import your own 3D models, you cannot import your music or sound effects, like anything, you just can't. Actually, let me backtrack on that. I've seen people using screenshots to import some images in their games. So that's a workaround. Yeah, you can import images. Yeah, but that's about it. Other than that, you really have to think outside of the box. You have to actually think, hey, how can I make this cool? I don't know, reindeer or this cool flying book that opens up only using basic spheres or provided assets as is. Like it's, and I don't honestly, this restriction is really good because what I noticed when I'm working in other engines, I get, I guess, what's the word for it? I get frozen because I have so much freedom of decision. So like it's like a theme in a game jam or a diversifier in a game jam. With more restrictions, you actually can create something more creative, basically. And this is my opinion. And judging by the other projects I've seen on Core, it's like I think it holds up. Yeah, and then there's and also a negative to remember is the core engine is still in alpha, so you will expect glitches. There will be bugs, and there will be like lack of assets. For example, there aren't as many as animal assets as I wish to. Like you have to create something your own basically if you want a cat, or like maybe cat is not a good example. We wanted a goat, and basically we found only, I guess, only one goat to use. Yeah, and so yeah, I hope like in future it gets better, like in content. And I mean, every day there's like new creative community, like content released from the community itself. But then there's like there's some like core content which are, for example, just a full player mesh with all the animations and stuff like that. So I really hope to see more content there. Then other negative, that is it's only available on Windows. Like you have to download it through Epic Game Store. So I guess if you're using Mac or Linux, currently you cannot use Core, unfortunately. It is what it is. Yeah, and I did mention before, like the maximum number for your scene is 32 people, which isn't actually low number, but if I want to create an MMO experience, I really would expect this to be higher, like for example 100 people or something like that. That said, we just have to, I guess, be creative and like do instance-based stuff more. Yeah, and it's per scene. It's not per like you can create multiple scenes in your game, and a scene can have maximum number of 32 people. It's not your whole game, so that's the thing also. Yeah, it's not easy to get into the monetization program, as I mentioned before. It's like 50 daily active users. Doesn't sound that much, but it's actually a pretty big number. I guess it's good that they count it amongst all of your games, not just one game. But yeah, so for my predictions is it at least takes like 2 to 3 months to actually get into a monetization program if you're really working towards that goal. Yeah, there's like by playing the games, I noticed that there are like a lot of pay to win strategies used in games. Then there are games, of course, with loot boxes, which I don't like. For example, when you try to build a building, the building will say, hey, this will be done in some tycoon games. This will be done in 32 hours. If you want to get it done now, pay X amount of diamonds. And this is nothing new, like mobile games does that a lot. It's just something that I don't personally like. That said, there are a lot of games that don't use those kinds of strategies and are really enjoyable on Core. And another thing that's really annoying, when you install the Core for your first time and join in the Core platform, your microphone will be voice activated. So as soon as you install Core, just turn it like to push to talk, because for me it was like very weird that people heard whatever I was saying. Yeah. So this is the last slide before questions. So I guess get ready your questions now. While you ask questions, I will actually get into core, do some demo stuff for you. Yeah. So when and why you should use core? I think it's most useful for people who don't have time, like me, or who just want to start learning game development. It's a really great platform. It's a 3D platform with a lot of things ready out of the box, and you can improve on your game design skills if you're a game designer. You can learn Lua scripting, which is like a transferable skill amongst many other game engines. If you ever wanted to make a massive multiplayer online game and don't have the money, this is also an option to go on their platform and make a game. And then it's an excellent engine to use in game jams. And actually, about core, I knew about it from Global Game Jam, because Global Game Jam had some kind of a collaboration with Core. They did a jam in summer with Core, if I remember correctly, like in 2020 or 2021. That's how I knew about it, but only started to use it just recently. So yeah, it's very fast to set up something playable to realize your idea in Core. So I guess one other thing, you can also use Core for prototyping. If you want to like actually make something in Unreal Engine, you can do some fast prototype in one day in Core, then just transfer the idea to some other engine if you want to. Yeah, and if for players, it's a really good social experience. You just join in, talk to people. Um, I haven't had any toxic encounters there, so it's really good. Yeah, and maybe earn some extra bucks, but I can't confirm the last point because I still haven't gotten to a point where I can actually earn something. And that's a thing that I want to update you later, like maybe in a half a year or so. So we will see like about that later. So that's actually it for me. I will take in questions now. You can follow us on Twitter, join our Discord. I will actually just share this presentation with everyone. Yeah, so any questions, you can ask them now.
Okay, so I'll start. So what kinds of games can you create with Core? Or maybe probably lots, like what can't you make with Core?
Well, that's actually really interesting because I thought that it will be very limiting on what you can create, but I will actually just show you like uh, let's see. So this is one game which is really interesting. It's basically a logics game, which I didn't really understand how you can make this with Core, but apparently you can make like games like these in Core, like I guess logic puzzles. Let's go play. Oh boy, I'm on stream, so I will be bad at this. So like, I guess you have to do like this alternate thing.
Oh, so you can also make 2D games?
Yes, you can make. Well, this is one. I was very surprised by this game. I mean, I will fail now, but I was like so surprised that you can actually make this in Core. Like, I don't know how you can make this, but you can make this. It's very interesting. Then a lot of people are making tycoon type of games where you can like grow your farm, like survival type of games. There are a lot of RPG games, first-person shooter games. There's also like Unreal Tournament remake in Core, like here. And as you see, like the games load very fast because it doesn't download anything. It just downloads a configuration basically. Yeah. Oops. So it's
And the script probably.
yeah, and the scripts probably. Yeah. Yeah, someone is joining, and we have two-player deathmatch. Like this is like Unreal Engine remake, like not Unreal Engine, but what's it called? Unreal Tournament remake. I mean, you can make these sorts of games. Then you can make like virtual experiences.
So, can you make a third-person game?
Yeah, you can make a third-person game. For example,
top-down.
Yeah, there's also top-down games. One of the top-down games I really like, which is in development. I sign up there as a game tester. It's a massive multiplayer online game, and it's from top-down perspective, and they actually figured out how to replace the default player characters with these characters. So yeah, you can. I think they did it by creating costumes. You can create your custom costumes with the shapes available in core. I think that they just hide the player model underneath it, and it uses the player animation mesh to actually do this kind of stuff. And it is like from top-down perspective.
And do you always control your player with WASD, or can you also make it controllable with mouse clicks?
I think I saw a game that didn't make it controllable with the mouse clicks. I'm not sure about it, but like not 100% sure about it. It should be possible because there was this other game which I did play, and it had like this top-down interface where you can move items with the mouse, and
And tell us about the programming. So,
yeah.
is it something similar to any other engine, or like this Lua script? Is it something like Unity? There are events on the mouse.
Yes, there are events. For example, I can show you. There's my scene. I did like for example, this is like the quest system. There aren't any global scripts like in Unity. Like in every scene that you want to use a script, you have to import the script there. There are like some global storages where you can store information if you want to do some stuff across your scenes, but it's mostly optimized to do stuff in a single scene. That said, I mean it's still possible to do stuff across the scenes, but yeah, here's the script, for example, for dialogue. I haven't figured out how to use arrays and I guess not arrays, but how to use like custom properties. Like you can't have a custom property as an array, and by custom property I mean here in like inspector you have these custom fields. You can't have an array. What you can have is a large string, for example. You can have a reference to other game object. You can have a reference to template. A template is a prefab for those who come from Unity. And yeah.
And about the custom objects, so you said the kit bashing.
Yeah.
How does it work? So you take an object, can you modify it somehow?
Yeah, so it's basically, you can, in my opinion, you can do that in any engine, honestly. But like, let's take, for example, a look at this Viking house, like done by my wife. This is like a long house, and what she has done is added, for example, some ring, which is just a ring object with material for that, and then like to make a shield, you know. So what you do basically is you just like, I don't know, sphere, for example, you just mash together like with something, I guess. I don't know what I'm creating here. but
Yeah.
yeah, just mash it together with something. Then you apply some materials to it.
And can you like cut half of the sphere, for example?
No, that's why like here you can see there are different like spheres available for you.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
unfortunately, you can't do like Boolean operations, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can merge the
And
model into one render cycle. That's a good thing, I guess, for optimization.
how the game discovery works. So I guess you can probably get a link to your game, right? And tweet it or something.
Yes, one thing is tweeting it. The other thing is, let me go outside of the editor. In the play section, when you reach somewhere like 30 people playing your game, you reach the new games section. There's a lot of holiday jam games, and there's our game actually here. So players discover it through new game section if they want to actually play some new games. Then there are some other rules. I guess you can promote your game. Like here you go. This is a promoted game. Someone actually paid it to be in the promoted list here in most engaging, and then someone else promoted their holiday jam game. Like it's in active games list. So actually someone is actually playing it right now. So yeah, you can either pay and also you get like start boost in the new games, and if it's very active game then you get it to the hot games. Yeah, and yeah, you
Yeah.
also do have a link that you can share, of course.
Yeah. So there was a question about other types of assets like sounds, music. Can
Yeah, you
you?
can't import sound or music,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but
Yeah.
of course, but can you? What can you do with sound? Can
uh,
you somehow change it?
yeah, you kind of, what I we haven't done much with sound, but what I
Yeah.
gather from it, okay, it's not here, but let me just, I guess, switch to another scene, and let's just search music. And yeah, you can I guess you can have MIDI audio. Someone created a MIDI audio plugin. Allows game creators to import MIDI tracks into core. Oh, so you
So what
actually
do you
can
mean
import
somebody
something.
has created?
Yeah,
So
you can create your own content, your own scripts, your own plugins, and just publish it with one click into the community content store. For example, Snowman.
can you
So
publish only scripts there or also
no,
assets?
you can publish kit bashed assets. You basically can't
Oh,
publish anything. For example, there's a snowman here. I will drag and drop a snowman, and now I have a snowman in my game.
so there is a way to get custom assets,
I mean, those
but
are kit bashed assets. It's only what you can use in core.
oh,
Nobody can actually create a 3D object in Blender or create some music, for
oh, okay.
example, in Audacity and import it that way. You can only use the stuff they offer from core content. Um,
But the MIDI player is a script, right?
yeah, the MIDI player is someone created a script for people to somehow actually import MIDI tracks. I guess MIDI consists of code or something like
Yeah,
that. So
it's
maybe it's a text-based thing.
yeah,
I
so it's
don't know.
playing frequencies. So yeah, you probably can
Yeah,
play a certain frequency in a script.
yeah,
And what
because
about
I've seen people, yeah, doing stuff like that, like somehow editing existing tracks within core to like have a higher volume or slower or faster tempo or like stuff like that. Yeah.
so and uh, the second part of the question was about animations. Can you do custom animations for those skeletons?
What I've seen, I haven't done any custom animations myself, but what I've seen is people do custom like inverse kinematic points where you can, for example, sit on a beanbag or lay on the sofa. I will actually bring up picture from Discord, Um, but those really are not, I guess, animations. You can do something with scripts. You can script the animations.
Okay,
But
okay.
it's not like a full animation editor or something like that. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this one of like
So whatever you can do with scripts, you can do.
yeah, exactly. So this was a funny animation. There was a Santa Claus laying in bed, like in one of the submissions, and his stomach was moving. I guess it was done by adding a sphere to the player model's stomach and just increasing and downcreasing the size of it. And like this
Oh,
pose that the character is in, it's done by setting like inverse kinematic points where the like animated, I guess this skeleton are is like. So I guess you can like with these inverse kinematic points and stuff, you can somehow script the animation. So that's a way around, but there isn't like an animation editor as far as I'm aware.
and so you said that you haven't tried the payments, but have you seen how others do that? How is it done? Do you have
Yeah,
like some in-game money or something
yeah.
like that, or?
So let me show you. For example, let's play. I guess Island Survivor is one of the most popular games. And what you do is people buy like the premium currency on core, and then you can actually. I don't want to watch intro. Like and then you can buy stuff in the game. For example, bigger inventory or stuff like that. Like I don't know. I can guess plant something. Oh, I don't have any plants. Oops, sorry. Yeah, an escape button opens like the core inventory. Like, see, let's plant a golden fruit, and you will see it will take a long time. Oh, plant. Oh no, sorry, it's here. Like, and you can make custom UI with this also. And as you see, it's like 15 hours, right? And then I can fast track. I don't have any gems. I can go buy the gems. And as you see, you can buy the gems with this premium currency. And you get 50% of what people buy. Like, let's see, like how much
Oh,
does it cost? Like 400 credits cost 5 euros, 10,000 credits cost 100 euros, right? And people can spend this money in like character shop. You can like buy their own skins, or they can spend these tokens in your game, as I showed you with the fast track of growing my apple tree, for example. Some people offer like loot boxes, of course. Some people even offer like subscription models. You can pay X amount of in-game premium currency for your subscription and stuff like that. Yeah. And then there are some people just, hey, just toss a coin to your game developer and just do those as like donations. And you can see, yeah, there's a week pass, like just be a supporter and yeah, stuff like that. That's how monetization works.
okay. And so tell us more about the analytics. So does it have some built-in analytics,
Yes, it
or
does. Just give me a second. You can
and do
download
you,
a CSV file, basically.
and
So,
what's in it?
yeah, I will show
Like,
you. I think I can show you. I hope I can show you. I haven't. I think I can. Yeah. So, core games. Let's see. Not that's my game. Let's log in with Epic.
does it track automatically
Yeah,
stuff, or you have to script what to track?
it tracks automatically.
Oh,
Um,
so you can't script like how many people click this and this button.
I think that you see, like in documentation, they actually said that analytics are not available to people who are not qualified for the monetization program. That said, like this is available to me right now. Yeah, okay, cool. Yes, fine. Yeah, don't say anything. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you can see like the creator of the game, like my account ID, which I don't want to show you, and like I guess the daily active users for the Winter Solstice game, like on Open Office actually. Okay, on 10th of January we had daily active users of 21, so 21 people played our game, and then there are some other metrics that there are like session time and stuff like that. That said, like those
Okay, so
specific analytics, I think I haven't.
uh,
I don't know if it's available in this premium program that you get into after 30 days. I don't know about that.
yeah, this looks like simple statistics.
Yeah,
I thought there will be some more
yeah,
detail.
yeah. That said, I don't know if it's available after you get into the monetization program, but because the documentation said that analytics are available for people into the program. So maybe for if you get into like get those 50 daily active users, maybe you get some advanced analytics, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we don't have any more questions. Thanks. This was really interesting.
Carlos has a
Creating.
question.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah,
Let's wait.
that's it. But
Yeah, this is really interesting, and I think it's a good thing for game developers to not to waste a huge amount of time on making the, I would say, game engine, because Unity is not actually like a game engine for us. Like Quake 3 is a real game engine because you actually just create content and the game is already there, so it's a game engine. Unity is more like a framework where you create your game engine and then you add content to it, and you can reuse it for other games. And this is more like Quake 3 engine and not Unity engine.
yeah,
And
one
it
other would
saves
be
so much time for developers.
definitely, yeah. One like other examples like these would be RPG engine, like RPG
Yeah,
Maker, like
yeah.
even I think even Gary's mod. Maybe I haven't used that one. Yeah. So
Yeah, so the question is,
yeah, will you translate it in English or?
yeah, so can you actually buy a game on core, like a retail game on Steam or somewhere, not a subscription or microtransaction, but
Yeah.
have a demo and then unlock a full game.
So there aren't premium games on core, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
All
premium
yeah,
game.
all games are playable like for free. That said, though, you could do like some gatekeeping, I guess. Here's a portion of my game. If you want to continue, you have to do this purchase. That said, I have to check like terms of services if that's actually allowed or not. But that's one way you could do it. But straight out of the gate, there are no premium games on core. On yeah, well, but it's still in alpha, so I don't know. Maybe someday, we don't know.
Okay, thank you. And so we have a short demo presentation about an NFT game from Jānis Lukss. He wanted to show what he's working on.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
So what is his name
give
on Discord? And I can.
Pendrokar.
Okay, I will like give you the speaker role so you can show your stuff, and I will actually stop my live streaming. Actually, oh no, in Discord multiple people can live stream, so that shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, so Pendrokar, you should be able to talk. Like unmute yourself and yeah. Nope, can't. Red mic. Oh, try leaving and joining back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Hey.
So screen sharing. Let's see, it should be probably a private window, and it's called what it's called. Oh, this it's maybe your Jānis Skuja's. It's his presentation. Yeah, that's what was open. All right, you can see it. Yeah, you can see the browser.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about screaming in YouTube and just the way that I talk.
I don't know what I mean. All right. So where would I start with this? Probably with the presentation, because I always wanted to make a magic system. Like, let's go to this first slide. And magic system. And well, let's start with this. So that we always have magic in fiction, and we always have these experts in magic that are always old men, that they always have these books behind them filled with knowledge about magic, but then in hardly any games do you actually use that knowledge. You always have just an built-in system just to create some single spell. And so I thought what would be such a system. And yeah, really should train myself for this more and more. Probably not stutter that much. And yeah, well, I'm just gonna skip this, I guess. So magic in games. Usually we have all these types of classes of magic. Even they are just divided into some classes. These are the Conjuration, Illusion, Necromancy, and so on. Those are actually from Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop game. And very often magicians are skill level restricted. They have some they'll gain levels from their character experience. Maybe in games, whether it's video games or just tabletops. And the experience is usually gained from fighting or getting training from experts. So the experience is not really gained from the knowledge of the magic system. And magic is usually performed by either incantation, gestures, or will. And that's what I think. And therefore, it all exists. And the last one, yes, is the most prominent. And in games, you all usually just have press a key to do magic, and it happens. There's no words for magic and so on. Just already a built-in system. And often in games, there's mana, which is used as a limiter to how much magic or supernatural magic a person can perform. So about mana, it's usually it's a resource that is drained to make magic happen. Possesses supernatural characteristics and abilities. And commonly it's consumed by ingestion. In most games there's potions. You drink the potion, you increase the mana, and then you can all do the magic. And this is the crux of the issue. It seems that always mana knows what the magician wants to do. So I tried to think maybe there's a way to converse with mana, to converse with computers that would actually create a magic system. And so I found this constructed language. This is a greeting, Shoi Rodo. The constructed language is called Lojban. And what's unique about it is that it's computer parsable. You can though not fully parsable, but it's quite enough to create a magic system upon it. So, and the fact that it can be parsed by computers means it is just possible to create a magic system around it. It's parsable, meaning there's all these grammar structures that you can differentiate the different words. Shoi meaning I greet all of you. Do is you, the listener. Ro is everyone, and so on. But I'm going to be very minimal on the whole language because not much is needed. It's also translatable by computer, but the translations are not that very great because it's not based on. Oh, well, actually, I should probably full screen this. Let's see if I can do. No, but maybe that doesn't matter. And should I go through the intricacies of the language? I don't know, but there's just a. Normally, we have in natural languages we have verbs and properties, and in this Lojban language they actually get combined usually, and they are combined in these terms selbri, and then there are these arguments that you assign to these verbs or properties called sumti. And this is
just a note. This is not a language made by you, but it's actually I just googled it.
Yeah, it's 30 years old. 30 years old.
Yeah, it's developed in 1987. So yeah.
Yeah, that is a very important issue because no one would really follow me if if I was just making a whole new constructed language. Yeah, I should have made sure that part. Sorry. And so let's just have one simple word. This is a simple root word in this language called fagri. It means that an object is a fire with that type of fuel and reacting to an oxidizer and all that. What I found most fascinating about this as a programmer is just that it really looks like a function. It looks like a function where the first argument is what is the fire, what is the fuel, and the third is what is the oxidizer that burns this fire. And so the normal this is the normal order that you use when creating a statement. The first sumti would be the fire. The second sumti, something that comes after this selbri. The fagri is a selbri. What comes after it, it's the second argument, and then the third. If you were to skip the first argument, you would always start. If you said just fagri, and what could we actually use as fuel? I don't know, fagrimi or anyway. Fagrimi, then it would always, if there was no x1 mentioned, that it would always be the second argument. So such a simple sentence, do fagri, it is you are a fire or a flame. It's yeah, that's actually what it is, and it is a statement. It's not an order. In order to make, and there was just this one extra. What are these called actually? I, me, you, they. Those are in English. What are those?
Names?
No. That's a type of. Well, vietvārdi vai vietniekvārdi, but in English it's yeah, I can't really remember.
Adjectives?
No, I guess it could be adjective, but well, anyways. Yeah. And then there was, besides do, there was ko. ko means that you become the argument. You have to become the argument. It's an order. So
It's a pronoun.
yeah, pronoun. Yeah, pronouns. Yeah, pronouns. It's a pronoun, and so do is just you, the listener. You are a fire flame, and it's just a statement. Whereas ko fagri, that actually means that you have to become fire, and you can also use that word multiple times. Ko fagri ko would mean just you are a fire of that type of fuel, and these are all these ko, do, and fe are all called another calculation called shmao, but it doesn't matter right now. But just that's fa and fe. Actually, you are able to just switch the arguments around. It's meant more for more for other type of language, like a Germans who like to actually put the verb or as the last word, so it would be more culturally neutral. The language would be culturally neutral. So yeah, that was actually the minimal amount that I would actually need to tell you about the language, because well, you would also have different ways. Like there should be a gift here replaying, but it doesn't work on the web version of PowerPoint. So there would be multiple ways of triggering these pairs. One would be voice recognition, and another would be actually a shortcut, and you would make that shortcut in a way that when I utter the phrase Avada Kedavra, do the following, and I'm not. I could also show it in how it would be in Lojban, the Lojban language, but it's also possible to do it this way. And so that NFT that I mentioned, just that there would be a possibility to make this an NFT. I should probably, let's see if 11 helps. You still see it probably. This magic system could be used in any game really, because all that requires is something that you're talking to. So if there are mana particles around, and you would say for them to become fire, ko fagri, it means that they would all probably, to save resources, there would be one fire ball that they would just become one fireball. And the NFT idea is just because I will have another presentation where I will be presenting this idea, because I want to have them just give me some suggestions on what blockchain I should put it on, because the Ethereum is very, very expensive to do it on Ethereum. It's the most popular blockchain on which the NFTs are created. And the NFT would mean that you would be. I have this example of Minecraft, that you would be writing a spell. When you write a spell and save it, it would there would be a check against the server. If someone else have made this spell before, and they haven't, then you have the opportunity to create an NFT of it. You were the first one to create the spell, and yeah, and just be proud of it. I don't know. I have these two different ways. Why are there why is there an offer and an apprentice? My thought was if I were to actually go on the Ethereum blockchain, create this NFT on the Ethereum blockchain, then you would be the offer. But for test cases, I wanted just to have some apprentice that you were kind of the offer, but you were just a witness of this spell being created. And so this would be quite a different NFT, because the number of them actually would be unlimited. You could just go ahead and just generate all the different kinds of words, but there would be millions upon millions of them, and there's no actually way to tell if they are going to work in any game. So yeah, that's about that NFT. The idea actually came from this NFT. Maybe, I don't know if anyone has heard about this. There is this Loot for Adventurers. These guys made an NFT that is not an image. They're actually selling just text. This is they're selling a set of armor, a set of gear, and that's actually the community I'm gonna present this. Maybe they also might have some use for a magic system. And they're selling just these 8 sentences, 8 text strings. That's all they're selling for thousands of dollars. Then they try to come up with ways to, where would be, oh, I don't have it open. Ways to actually give them value. Where could I see that? Where's their website? Well, let's try to search. Adventures. Well, that should be enough. No, loot project, probably. So they originally had 1,000 of these sets. And let's see, and they have all these different projects that try to show off what this gear does. This was one of the first ones, but we can do character and what, well, this one's also to do random character. So there's one NFT, and it was one of the first ways for them to show what type of character what your character looks like with all these different gears. I guess it's more of an inventory. There was also a more higher quality one, this one. And there's the information button. They're just making all these characters just based on these phrases. And there's due to lore, they're trying to characterize them, which one belongs to what kind of character. Let's see. Well, actually, just that this was just some inspiration for that creating the NFT. Just wanted to show this off. And there actually isn't a game yet for it, but there was some are trying to make a game on the Ethereum blockchain. But oh god, there's to make a single function of trading something or something like that, it currently costs like $100. And that's that's insane. You can't really build a game on the Ethereum blockchain. But yeah, that's their problem. Mine was something different. So that's about that NFT. So this should we already go to questions? Let me just check if someone already mentioned something. No one mentioned in Discord anything. What could I? Well, I did have a prototype. I guess I could show off the prototype. This was actually created years ago on Unity. It's hopefully the best quality. And let's slow down. There's no sound, so there's no point bothering it with it. The idea of this prototype was that this would be a tutorial level, that you would fall into this cavern and discover mana. And there was an archaeologist in this cavern before, and he discovered the Lojban language with which to control the mana. So you would actually go around and find these pieces of paper where the archaeologist has written some. There's some background story. Maybe maybe I'll share this video, and then you can just pause it and read through what's actually written there. But in just that he discovers mana and starts discovering all these different words with which to interact with the world. Normally, you wouldn't be able to know these words at the start, but since I know, I'm actually show off some of this. What I'm writing there is become the puller of that, and that being the crosser. What's within the crosser, and that's the spell. That the spell is simply become the puller of that. Pull that. I can also add a, well, it's very small. Yeah, should have this different system. Probably a big, just a big a book probably where you would rewrite these spells or some different interface. And let's go for back. Yeah, that you could pull the 2 of that. That's what I actually wrote there. And 50% of mana should be the pullers of that. Yeah, that's what I wrote there. But it's very simple. At least for me, it seems simple to grasp. So let's go further. David, in this tutorial level, you would go further and pick up more pieces and then learn new words. I believe I showed this to someone. Probably. No, just from the Gamedev community, but I don't know. I don't remember maybe who it was. Yeah, the first word would be "ko," or that it was supposedly the word that you need to use if you want it to become the argument of a word. But in this case, it just brings mana. There are these crystals on the ceiling, and with that, within that ceiling, there's mana. So they hear the word "ko" and so brighten up, and therefore you can go through this obstacle course. And I also introduced some from the Lojban language, just some colors that you can just ask the mana to become a color. That's it, and that's just something simple here. Then you would go further, and there would be this rock obstacle in your place, and you would have to learn the magic spell for pushing, Shatke. That's the Lojban word for being the pusher. Oh, sorry. Become the pusher of that. So the rock cylinder, just being pushed, and it goes into a I don't know what it is. And then the player tries to cast it again on this obstacle, but it doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because the center of this object is within the wall, and it cannot be pushed. It's actually a what this called actually in English. It's just that you have to use the second argument. The second argument for pushing the third. No, that's actually the third argument. The third argument. Actually, let's go. I'll just show you the Francisco. It's the dictionary. The first argument is the shover. The second argument. The second is what is being pushed, and the third is locus, the position at which it is being pushed. So the player uses the third argument, and therefore he tells it to be the pushing has to occur on that precise location, and therefore it swirls around. And further on, there is this hole that the player is unable to jump over. So so I actually don't know why I made this room so dark. I should have just had some light. And I introduce a new word, me, a pronoun, me. So become the pusher of me, I write there. Koshatke me. Become the pusher of me. And this actually gives you some sort of flying ability. With which you can fly around. And within this prototype, I probably implemented, well, I guess the colors also come, but mostly I included 3 different spells, just pushing, pulling, and lifting. Lifting. Become the lifter of me. That's lift that. I guess that's what I wrote there. So yeah, this probably would be the right time for questions. And I saw Jānis already had something.
Yeah, so the question was about NFT, but let's start with the programming language. This looks really.
Which one? The parsing? With which the parsing is being done, or Unity?
No, the language itself. How did you discover it, and why did you become obsessed with it?
Yeah, I've actually probably 8 years ago. It was actually, I was trying to think ways to explain magic that it's occurring in some. Let's go through my. This is my website for the mostly for the game that I was developing the prototype. And it's not me. Just explaining magic to a computer. If I had to explain what's going on in this scene of Harry Potter, when Voldemort just does this magic where he says to, I guess it means that he make my breath a fire that becomes a snake. No, I guess it's a snake. Yeah, I got something like that. But in natural languages, that's pretty much impossible because the context it would all fall apart because of context. Natural languages just have this issue. That's when I discovered.
So it's not that you discovered the language and then try to make the game for it, but you're
No, really
searching for the language real game, right?
Well, I always thought about incantation, that there is all these different magic types, that there is incantation where someone just says abracadabra or avada in Harry Potter or something like that. And no game really uses this that much that I've seen. And the second way of doing magic is with gestures. I don't know. It's I actually give some examples here. What I think magic done with gestures looks like. So in this case, the Avatar series, and real would be Harry Potter when they do. Oh yeah, well of course Harry Potter is the one really that springs to mind because of incantation. They have incantation, but the magic system really no, just that how new spells are created is never revealed by J.K. Rowling. She always just mashes up some Latin and English, and that just makes a new spell, and then it just does things.
Okay, so there is no system for spells in Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's where this came about.
Okay, and let's move to NFTs.
Yeah.
So the question, if I understand correctly from Jānis, is So if your spell is an NFT,
Yep.
then probably any other game that understands the language can
Yeah, is able
also.
to parse it. Is able to parse it. They can use it, and I have no monopolistic ownership of
So
those words.
why NFTs? Why is NFT needed here?
It was one way to fund projects that would use this system. In this case, I would be have the privilege of knowing what spells people are creating and which ones I would have the first ownership, and maybe then sell afterward. But it doesn't mean that it's not just specific to any game that I would be creating. Anyone else could actually use this type of system. Also, make the spells in the Lojban language, and then you make
But if anyone can create a spell, then they can just copy your spells.
Yeah, but they can use the same contract for, because the NFT itself, I would not include a parser within the blockchain. I actually would allow any type of text to be created as an NFT, because it's your loss. I mean, you're creating something that is not used anywhere. It's not of any use, and the only real system for the NFT would be that it would start with this word at least, and then you would go with core. I become fire. Let's see, become fire, and this would probably be the standard by which most spells would be written. Because there needs to be some standardized form for a magic. This means you are fire. I say it. This just means I say it. Therefore, it's true that you have to become fire.
Yeah,
And
but for example, so I own an NFT with a spell in it. So I go into your game and I can use it. Or is
you will
that
be shown as the author of that spell. Yeah, you can
what
use it.
What do you
Well,
mean?
if the game looks at NFTs and sees that this standardized form of this spell has been minted as an NFT, then if the game chooses to, that it would show that you are the author of this spell.
Owner.
No, well, maybe not owner, the original creator. I mean, anyone else can use it, of course. The spells itself, anyone else can use.
So why do I have to have the NFT if anyone can
You
use
don't.
it?
You don't. But if you really love it so much, you use it in whatever game that you do.
Okay, so there is no gameplay aspect to the NFTs. So it's not like
Not
it's
that
not,
well, I haven't thought of any yet. No,
okay.
that the NFT
Because
just
what I
something
was thinking is would be like collectible card games. So you have NFTs in your collection,
yeah.
and you can create a deck of cards only from NFTs that you own at the time.
Yeah. That's
And there could be, so you could be the only one who can issue a new spell, and then people can buy them from you. That would gamify those NFTs.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, you know that all these NFTs, they're mostly always image based, and
Yeah, but well, not always,
mostly. But
because like why I'm bringing up collectible card games is because there are actually collectible card games, and NFTs just have IDs of the cards, no pictures, nothing, just ID. And then actually the game understands the ID and sees, oh, so you're the owner of the card.
yeah. That's
And
probably possible.
yeah,
But I remember, when we had a chat within game, you had chat within Discord about NFTs, and Jānis Skuja was asking if there could be a game, if I could own a card and the visualizations of that card. But yeah, the sad thing, most of these NFTs are not. They are selling. They say they sell images, but they're not actually selling images. They're selling just text to
Yeah, but
create the image.
that's for non-gaming
Yeah.
usage. But in games, they actually have a usage. You can actually sell and not ownership. Ownership is probably not the right word, but the proof that you can use the card.
Yeah, and they are usually randomly allocated. You mint an NFT and you generate a card, and you sell that card, and you may use that card in some game. But in my case, no, you couldn't randomly make these. You could, well, yeah, you could just randomly just create some maybe valid Lojban text, and that means that it's invalid. Valid Lojban text and continuously generate them, but it actually doesn't mean that it's in use in any game.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, and the stand.
So released when?
Oh yeah, I have to find some. You mean the NFT?
Yeah, in the game.
The game, Minecraft probably. I always wanted to just do it probably in Minecraft because yeah, this prototype.
When it will be released?
Yeah, you're giving me already something. Well,
the release date.
Well, okay. Since I have promised you probably in a month I could make a mod for Minecraft where you could perform alchemy. Just that means that become the stone.
So the first version without NFTs, right?
I could still make those NFTs, but yeah, I just have to make clear what type of which blockchain I should use for that NFT. But yeah, in order for an NFT to have any value, I have to have some use case for it. And yeah, what was about this prototype? That it's I don't know. It's just puzzle games is just not for me. Yeah, I was creating this tutorial and thinking about puzzles, and yeah, you would be using this language for making puzzles. For completing puzzles, yeah. But it's just not what I imagined. I always imagined that you would be then start combining these words and creating new things like for instance, fireball. It actually isn't in this vocabulary, but fireball would be actually fireball, fagri. There are 1,300 root words, and then you combine them, and that should.
Yeah.
So, and the combination goes from left to right. So this would actually I can also give it to the parser, which I believe it's valid. Yeah, I believe it's. Let's go to the. So this actually means just it's a fiery sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a fireball, and then I started really diving into this. Okay, what does this mean? If I start creating the different ways to understanding what the system, how actually complex it has to be to create really new spells, and you could also have water. What is water? Jashu is water. Water sphere, which actually was used in Harry Potter. Yeah, right there. Sphere of water. But I always, it's so simple to say it in English, but in order to have it be parsed by a computer, it's a very difficult problem. And so about the prototype, only 3 spells: push, pull, lift. But it's not enough. It wasn't enough for alpha funding. when I was making this. Just really didn't have that a gameplay idea, so I just imagined that I would be creating a Minecraft mod. But
Yeah, probably not a lot of Lojban speakers in the world.
probably tens, if not 100. Yeah, but I think people would start to get interested. Yeah, I can actually show what this most similar thing that actually existed. There was this Kickstarter for a game called Code Spells, and idea is pretty much the same. That you they were created this sandbox. I don't know why the videos aren't playing. That they had this sandbox for creating magic, and they used programming. They actually released the game to a mixed audience in 2015, and they stopped. They actually early game access, and I believe they actually mean that they actually stopped. This is what their magic system looked like. It was just a
Oh, so it looks like Scratch.
yeah. Well, yeah, it is programming. I actually was surprised that the Kickstarter succeeded, because I thought how many people want to program, 5,500, and it was they created this, but it was a sandbox game, but it was so sandboxy that there was no goal. They actually really invested into this. They actually they don't show it here. They had a terrain system like that they showed here, that you could modify the terrain. They had a water system. You could flood areas with a voxel water system. They had a fire system where you could set grass on fire, and the grass beside it would also catch fire. The very deep systems that were implemented, but still there was no game. It was very sandboxy. I mean, Minecraft was the same, but people actually still, that's the thing, that the magic system really probably works on some. The Lojban magic system really works just on established games. Let's see with Discord we have more questions.
Yeah, well, there is some
Runes, actually, they revived this Code Spells project, and I think he threw everything out. The ones that are actually reviving this project, and he's gonna use the runes now. I don't know why, but he's gonna use runes. Just that someone in Discord mentioned that a rune system of RX Fatalis actually should play that game. I mean, they made make Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. I really like that game too. The same developers. And what other questions do we have? Runes, Legend of Grimloth used runes. Minecraft used, actually Minecraft also has some words attached. I noticed that magic creation system in Oblivion wasn't as good as it was in Morrowind. Yeah, it was a good system. Morrowind had could make magic on touch, on target, and so on. Yeah, but and scribble notes.
I think the idea is really cool, but the NFTs, for now, I don't see a big potential with NFTs. Like, I don't see.
It's just so simple to create one.
I don't see like a reason for me to.
Of course,
to
there's
to
no
buy
use
that.
case yet.
Yeah, but if you created it, but there you could find like, as I said, if only you as a developer could create new spells, maybe, or so somebody can program a spell like this is similar to programming, and then he sends it to you, pays some in-game cash or something, and then you create a spell for him, and then he can now use it in game or something like that. But before that, I would really suggest you, as you already planned to create a demo for like a mod for Minecraft or something, because this looks cool, but you have to actually physically try to see how it works, and then you can think about getting some financing, maybe a publisher or something. Without a demo, it's impossible to get anything with a gameplay as hard as this, because it was, I think, for most of the people watching the stream, it was really, really hard to follow the programming part.
I mean, yeah, just that's what always seemed, that it's just these root words are themselves already just, it's like a function. And just build the arguments. It's actually, it is the case for most natural languages. So Carlos has something. Yeah, that kind of wiki problem. Now I understand.
What is the wiki problem?
That there would be.
Oh, so yeah,
there would be a list of spells, and that those would be the only ones that people would use.
Yeah.
And well, we will see. Yeah, probably, but we will see how far did
Yeah, well,
we go.
If it's not play to win or play to earn or anything like that, then it's just stealing your fun from the game. If you read these wikis, and it's cheating yourself more than the game. But if it's actually play to win or pay to win or any kind of investment and then getting some prizes, then this is a problem, of course. It's the same as for card games. So people post their winning decks, and you just take and copy the deck and then win. Yeah,
this
you
actually
can't escape that.
This is a list for some of the root words and their origins. The Lojban language creators, they wanted these root words to be culturally neutral, so they were trying to create these 5-letter root words. They always have follow the same standard: consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, or there is one, maybe consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. Yeah, probably. And just so the people, it would be easier for people just to remember that word, because it's in your language. It's part of it is they made these root words. Chinese got the biggest boost because they in 90s they determined that they have the most speakers. So it has the most influence, then English, then Hindi, then Spanish, Russian, and Arabic. This is the last one. So that's how these root words actually get made. So someone was writing probably.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, probably. We are already reaching 2 hours.
Yeah. So we can now move on to the other room and stop the stream. So thanks everybody for joining our Gamedev Meetup 104. We had 2 really interesting presentations. Wasn't expecting that. Thanks to both Jānises and to all our watchers. See you in Gamedev Meetup 105. See you. Bye.
Thank you.